Well, hello and welcome everyone to this playthrough of Life is Strange, a beautiful episodic adventure game released 2 years ago by Don't Nod and Square Enix. To get this out of the way first, this is not a blind playthrough. I've played through the game before, and in this one I will be commenting with all that knowledge. So if you haven't played the game before, beware spoilers for all the episodes, you have been warned. If you want to join me, however, on this journey and try to figure out the game a bit more, do some theorizing based on the knowledge we have from later episodes, you're very welcome. Just be aware that this will be a very slow, methodical and detailed playthrough. I'm going to try to look at everything really and try and comment and think about it from the perspective of what we know about the end of the game. So let's get right into it, shall we? And start with the first episode. Life is Strange is a story-based game that features player choice. The consequences of all your in-game actions and decisions will impact the past, present and future. Choose wisely. Yeah, I'm not gonna let Lisa die this playthrough, that's for certain. Right, so as we all know, we're playing Maxine Caulfield, an 18-year-old photography student at Blackwell Academy, and she's having a very lucid daydream in class currently. Where she's at or near the Arcadia Bay lighthouse.
How did I get here? And where is here?
And when is here, more importantly, Max? Because this is 4 days, I think.
There's the lighthouse. I'll be safe if I can make it there.
4 days into the future.
Please let me make it there.
Which is when the tornado arrives, of course. So interestingly, her powers don't just seem to include the time rewind, but also visions of future events. I mean, this is never fully explored in the game, I think, but I mean, this definitely is a vision of some sort, right? By the way, I don't quite remember, but I don't think in this vision we happen upon the doe yet, right? Which is a spirit animal, of course. There's the tornado. There's Arcadia Bay. Don't know, can we see Blackwell in the distance? No, but we can see the Blackwell banner here, conveniently placed. Founded in 1910. Alright.
Holy shit.
There wasn't anything in this area to look at, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so here comes the boat. Lighthouse falls and we wake up in class.
That was so surreal.
Famously called film Little Pieces of Time. But he could be talking about photography, as he likely was.
Okay, I'm in class. Everything's cool. I am okay.
From light to shadow. From color to chiaroscuro. Now, can you give me an example of a photographer who perfectly captured the human condition in black
I
and
didn't
white?
fall asleep, and that sure didn't feel like a dream.
Bueller?
Weird.
Diane Arbus.
Diane Arbus.
Victoria? Why Arbus?
Because of her images of hopeless faces, you feel like totally haunted by the eyes of those sad mothers and children.
She saw humanity as tortured, right? And frankly, it's bullshit.
Why though?
Keep that to yourself. Seriously though, I could frame any one of you in a dark corner and capture you in a moment of desperation.
that foreshadowing.
Any one of you could do that to me. Isn't that too easy? Too obvious? What if Arbus chose to capture people at the height of their beauty or innocence? She had a brilliant eye.
Oh, Jefferson.
She could have taken another approach.
I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of her work. I prefer Robert Frank.
Me too, Victoria. He captured the essence of post-war beat America. And there was honesty about the economic conditions of the era, but a beauty in the struggle. You don't have beauty without a beat.
Wow.
Explains why Frank was Kerouac's photographic muse. And both were the great chroniclers.
Actually, listening to this is pretty interesting, considering what's going to happen,
We've all
right?
seen that iconic shot of Kerouac on the balcony.
Kerouac
If you
on the
haven't,
balcony.
Shame, shame.
I
Capturing
haven't.
the romantic urban solitude of the 20th century poet. You dig?
You dig.
Now, contrast Frank's stark Americana with Salvador Dali's surrealist photographs. Like Cocteau, he was a true Renaissance man.
It's kind of a
His
weird
famous
lecture, isn't
portraits
it?
are famous. Early examples of that truly awful word you pesky kids love so much. The selfie. And it's a great tradition, and I wholeheartedly fight for your right to self-expression. Or selfie expression. Sorry, I know. So if anybody wants to question the portrait as modern and artistic...
Look at this crap. How can I show this to Mr. Jefferson? I can hear the class laughing at me now.
So yeah, I was just listening to this lecture very intently, because I think it's very interesting what he says there, right? There's obviously a lot of foreshadowing going on. And again, you have been warned there will be spoilers for all of Life is Strange. So turn away now, if you haven't played it. Right. So considering that Jefferson is basically running an underground dungeon where he captures and photographs girls from Arcadia Bay, his opinions on photography are very interesting here, right? Saying that what he wants to do is, or basically he could capture any of you in a moment of desperation, and there's no beauty without a beat, and stuff like that is like doubly ominous, knowing all that's going to happen, which is a very interesting piece of foreshadowing, especially as this lecture will feature a couple more times throughout the game, right? But I just want to like spend a second like thinking about the like academic content of this lecture as well, because I am interested but not very knowledgeable in photography, and I think it's very cool that the game kind of alludes to a lot of concepts and important photographers. But this lecture, I mean, was kind of weird from a thematic standpoint, right? He was kind of jumping between post-war America, Americana, between surrealist photography from Dali and then self-portraits. I mean, what's even today's topic? I didn't really figure that out. It just seemed like a lot of like jumping between topics and name dropping to me. But what I will do is kind of look into a couple of these concepts and names a little bit as well, because I think they didn't just drop them in here, but they probably meant something in the context of the game too. So yeah, but let's take a short look at Max's selfie as well, which isn't strictly speaking a selfie, but actually a photograph that she must have. I mean, if she's using her analog camera, I don't know how she took this actually. But it's her, of course, standing in front of a photo memorial wall in her room with a nice little lights going on there. And I can't quite figure out most of the photos, and I think they seem to be repeating as well. I don't know if you can see this. There's this guy repeats over here. This guy repeats over here. So it would be cool if the game developers had put a bit more effort into this, I guess. But I don't know. Anyway, I think the idea is pretty cool, right? Especially considering the context of Everyday Heroes contest. And the task is basically to portray someone you're close to, or yourself, or really anyone, doing something heroic. And this is interesting because it's kind of a selfie, but not, and it's from the back. And then it's Max looking at her own photographs, which are supposedly of people and events in her life that are important to her. Everyday heroes for her, so to say. So it's a very interesting play, I think, actually on perspective and who's looking, who's being looked at, who's the target audience for the picture, and who does she really mean by everyday hero with this picture. So I think this is actually a super cool shot. I don't know. And considering she, again, spoilers, ends up winning, for Blackwell at least, or the Blackwell contest at least, if she decides to hand this one in later on, I think that's entirely justified.
They could go back hundreds of years to blame society. Speaking of questions...
Portraits, narcissism, okay.
I thought I'd talk all the way until the bell rang. It's your turn
I
to
can't
lecture
believe I
us.
still have this pencil case. I should upgrade to the 21st century. I haven't kept up with my journal as much as I should.
That led to
My
the
little
birth.
camera bag is battered, but still kicking. I do love my analog camera. I should take a quick picture now.
Anybody?
So he's asking about the
This is
Daguerrean
not
process. If you just let him talk, and then no one wants to talk. Interestingly, not even Victoria.
I believe Max has taken what you kids call a selfie. A dumb word for a wonderful photographic tradition. And Max has a gift. Of course, as you all know, the photo portrait has been popular since the early 1800s. Your generation was not the first to use images for selfie expression. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh god, he's
The
such a
point
triad.
remains that the portraiture has always been a vital aspect of art and photography for as long as it's been around. Now, Max, since you've captured our interest and clearly want to join the conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to the first self-portraits?
The Daguerrean process, sir.
You're asking me? Let me think.
You either know this or not, Max. Is there anybody here who knows their stuff?
Louis Daguerre was a French painter who created daguerreotypes, a process that gave portraits a sharp reflective style like a mirror. Now you're totally stuck in the retro zone. Sad face.
That insult doesn't even make sense.
The Daguerrean process brought out fine detail in people's faces, making them extremely popular from the 1800s onward. The first American daguerreotype self-portrait was done by Robert Cornelius.
Robert
You can
Cornelius.
find out all about him in your textbook, or even online.
Oh no, not online.
And guys, don't forget the deadline to submit a photo in the Everyday Heroes contest. I'll fly out with the winner to San Francisco, where you'll be feted by the art world.
Yes,
Great
yes.
exposure, and it can kickstart a career in photography. So Stella and Alyssa, get it together. Taylor, don't hide. I'm still waiting for your entry too. And yes, Max, I see you pretending not to see me.
I mean, this has been commented on before, right? How Jefferson treats his students by like lots of Let's Players and fan theorizers.
Doesn't waste a second kissing ass.
But did you notice just now that he just spoke to the female students in his class when there was a couple male students as well? Also, his body language was very much geared to the half of the classroom that had more females in it. He basically said, yeah, you guys turn in your pictures, but he only spoke to the females in class. So this is Victoria's stuff.
Of course, Victoria has to have the bestest, newest, most expensive everything. Even her school books are gift wrapped. I can't believe she made fun of me in class. What is she, 15 years old? And people laughed.
I mean, some of the writing's not like 100% in this game, but generally I like it very much. And I think they captured kind of the feeling of being like an 18-year-old fresh adult pretty well. Saying like, I'm not 15 years old, come on, that's like 3 years ago, I'm a completely different being now. This is like such an 18-year-old like thing to say. I don't think any 29-year-old would say, what is she, like 26 years old, you know?
I should have known. She'll have better equipment than Blackwell.
Greenlit. Is that a Steam reference? Probably is. $5,300, holy shit. JPEG images already of a superb quality. Well, if that's true, then it is worth that kind of money. All right.
Damn, they have carbon fiber tripods here. The ball head even has a pan lock. God, I'm such a photo nerd.
I'm not as much as you at least, Max, but is a pan lock really that uncommon? I don't know. With tripods. Anyway, I mean, that's one thing I like about this game, and I like about Max's protagonist, is that she's unabashedly passionate about an area that not necessarily everyone is passionate about, and she's kind of fine with that and happy about that, and she likes nerding it up over stuff that she finds interesting, which is always cool, I think.
So cool to see Mr. Jefferson's actual published pictures. Gives me hope.
And also, this has been commented on earlier, but all of Jefferson's work, or almost all of Jefferson's work, seems to be of young, innocent women, right? Often scantily clad, not in positions of power, but rather, I don't know, the object of Jefferson's photography, which is, if you'd paid attention to it initially, something you could have stumbled upon. And others did, but I mean, this didn't occur to me when I played it first. But others have made that observation, right, even before episode 4 or whatever, that Jefferson's a pretty big creep. Also, Mark Jefferson's noir beauty. Film vs. digital, who will win? Also, I never made much of this one, but this little tidbit here tells its whole own story, right? Because Film vs. digital, who will win, pretty much says that this was published a long time ago, probably in the 90s sometime, right? When digital cameras were still a new thing and it wasn't clear where photography would go. So this means that Jefferson's published work is quite a ways in the past. At least that one is. And if I remember correctly, this one had a similar reference as well.
I love seeing Mr. Jefferson's awesome photos on these magazine covers.
Yeah, we get it. You're fangirling over the teacher, Max. Right, so this is another scantily clad woman, right? Also featuring the latest works of Mark Jefferson, Is Grunge Dead? And 10 Reasons to Get Electronic Mail. So this is definitely the 90s, right? Interesting, right? So what this says about Jefferson to me is all these kids kind of idolize him and make him out to be this great photographer, and I'm sure the school will have advertised him as such as well. But really, is he still successful, or is he more or less like someone who's had kind of a middling success in the 90s at some point with weird pictures of young innocent women, and then he wasn't really that successful anymore, and he had to turn to teaching basically, and kind of had his career see his career go nowhere. I mean, that's the impression I get from this.
That printer is amazing. I'd love to see how it reproduces my pictures. I could pump out a whole gallery show with that thing. When I don't suck.
Oh, come on,
Someday.
Max.
That was amazing when Mr. Jefferson took a class picture the first week. Even though I didn't want to be in the picture at all, it was fairly fucking cool to watch him at work framing us.
I mean, it's just a picture of young adults, isn't it? I mean, I guess I can appreciate the diagonal lines. Which usually help like break up and make a picture more dynamic, but yeah, alright, we've looked at all this. Let's talk to Kate, of course. Poor little Kate.
Kate looks so sad and quiet today. Poor thing.
What's she writing? That doesn't seem related to this lecture, at least. That's like the optics of a lens, basically. And then, oh wow, is that... Oh, she's a tree and a noose. Holy shit. Talk about foreshadowing. I didn't see this the first playthrough. What else do we have? Also like an angel, but with a what? With a bloody head, or is it chopped off even? And she writes so lonely, holy crap. And waste. Oh man.
Hi, Kate.
Oh, hi, Max.
I don't get this. Why does Max think she embarrassed Kate?
You seem quiet today.
Just thinking too much.
I hear that. Want to go grab a cup of tea and bitch about life?
Thanks, but not today. I have to go over homework.
No worries. Let's hang later.
Sure.
Okay. Paper Ball is of course the
Now I wish I wouldn't have read this.
we love
Purge.
your porn video, XOXO Blackwell Academy. This was either Victoria or Taylor or one of the mean girls, right?
Obviously Blackwell spent bank on the computers here. Looks like somebody was already working on this. Cool.
And this seems very Jefferson-esque, right? So it seems that's either his work or maybe one of his students emulating him. I don't know. That's right, we looked at the printer. There's the first photo.
Huh. This might make a cool shot.
Alright, what do we have here?
This is definitely where cameras go to heaven. Oh man, they have those sweet ultrasonic lenses. And look at that vintage rangefinder. What?
I just think it's a very cool, admirable quality in people if they're passionate about something and not shy about their passion for it. Even if it's something that I'm not necessarily very interested in or good at, I find it very cool personally to see that in people.
So cool that we can check these out anytime. The Decisive Moment by Henry Cartier-Bresson.
All right.
That's rare. Annie Leibovitz, mad respect. The amazing Eugene Smith. Good to see Abaddon among the masters. Dali, of course. Lots of people I haven't heard of yet. I guess that's why I'm here.
And again, I think they nailed this this phase of adulthood very well, of early adulthood, right? You've just become an adult and you're kind of still all in this teenage drama that surrounds Blackwell. And there's bullying going on and you're a high school student and you're still uncertain of your own capabilities and whatever. But you're also an adult and you have quite a lot of knowledge already, especially in fields that you're interested in. And Max clearly knows a lot about photography. I mean, she's a scholar of it in that regard. And also, brace yourselves, because I'm gonna look some of this stuff up now.
So cool that we can check these out anytime.
Who do we have here?
The Decisive Moment by Henry Cartier-Bresson.
Right. Let's look at Henry, or is it Henri? Cartier-Bresson. Let's look him up even online, Mr. Jefferson. All right, let's bring this over here. Was a French humanist photographer considered a master of candid photography and an early user of 35mm film. He pioneered the genre of street photography and viewed photography as capturing a decisive moment. His work has influenced many photographers. So is that also the name of a picture by him, or is it just a concept? I mean, this already is pretty interesting, I think. I didn't know this guy before. So what's humanist photography, first of all? Manifests the Enlightenment philosophical system in social documentary practice based on a perception of social change. Mid-20th century, Europe, France, as a reaction to the upheavals of the two world wars, there was a worldwide movement. It can be distinguished from photojournalism, as it is considered more broadly with everyday human experience. Very interesting, okay. To witness mannerisms and customs, and not so much newsworthy events. That would be photojournalism, I suppose, right? That's the distinction between the two. So humanist photography, yeah, very much pro-human experience, very optimistic in a way, and witnessing human mannerisms and the everyday. Interesting. And the decisive moment is what photography is supposed to do according to Cartier-Bresson. Capturing that decisive moment in the everyday and in the human experience. Pretty cool. And photojournalism employs images in order to tell a news story. Yeah, that's the difference. Right. But that's not what Cartier-Bresson is about. He's about the humanist photography. His work has influenced many photographers, 1908 to 2004. Right, let's maybe look up Google Images. See if there's anything we know of him. Alright. Oh, this is cool. This is basically probably people watching like a sports event or horse race or whatever, right? He's watching them. Is this a real photo? No. Alright, so the everyday and human experience and decisive moments. This is a cool shot. I like the perspectives on this. Someone just cycling by. There's just some people at the beach. Cool. What's this? Oh, that's like a lingerie store, I guess. This is cool. Oh. Oh! Man, I'm liking these. I don't really even know why, but just the composition of this is pretty cool, I think. Wait, isn't that... Oh, that's him, alright. Pretty photogenic guy himself. Alright, so much for this guy. Candid photography, I suppose, is just what the name says it is, right? Is a photograph captured without creating a posed appearance. This is achieved in many ways. For example, when the subject is in motion, like with a cyclist, right? By avoiding prior preparation of the subject, by surprising the subject, and by not distracting the subject during the process of taking photos. I mean, this is very much the antithesis of what Jefferson is doing in the darkroom or in his bunker, right? Is a positive, life-affirming, capture the moment and the beauty of the human experience in an unposed manner. Is basically the opposite of what Jefferson is doing. Right, so that's interesting. Let's continue.
That's rare. Annie Leibovitz.
Annie Leibovitz? I feel like I've heard that name before. Oh, she's still alive. Annie Leibovitz is an American portrait photographer. Alright. She photographed John Lennon the day he was assassinated. Her work has been used on numerous album covers and magazines. Oh, Avedon. That guy's gonna be mentioned later on as well. It's much influenced by Richard Avedon and his personal reportage, developing close rapport with her subjects. Alright, that's cool. So she's a portrait photographer, and her shtick is to actually get to know the people she's photographing and developing a rapport, and therefore making her images more intimate, I suppose. Oh, this is a good shot. I think I've seen this before. Alan Rickman. That's by her. But this one isn't, right? Oh no, this is not the original Einstein photo anyways. Alright, yeah, she seems to do celebrities a lot. This is Jennifer Lawrence, of course. Oh, this is also a good one. I feel like I've seen this before as well. Oh, Angelina Jolie. Oh, I love the composition. I mean, this sounds so pretentious in a way, but I love the composition of this. I can't even say why, because I know so little about photography, but I mean, the way her, like, jaw is aligned with her hand and everything, right? It's pretty cool. Is that Joaquin Phoenix? It's also a good one. Was that Natalie Portman? Yeah. Adele, lots of celebrities. Natalie Portman again. This is... who's this again? Kate Blanchett, of course, yeah. That's Annie Leibovitz herself. Oh, what? Star Wars? Did she do those too? So she doesn't seem to have any qualms about like doing a lot of celebrities and promotional work, right? I mean, sometimes that's frowned upon in the art world, I guess, is to do too much commercial stuff and go into the whole pop culture, celebrity culture thing. But she doesn't have too many qualms. Oh, this shot is by her? Vanity Fair taps Annie Leibovitz. Does that mean Annie Leibovitz did the shots? To capture intimate moments from the upcoming Star Wars film. Yeah, intimate portraits seem to be a thing. And I guess that's pretty clear. I mean, is this... Where's this from? Let's have a look. Because I've seen these promotional pictures for the next Star Wars film. And I liked them. I remember liking them quite a bit. I didn't know they were Leibovitz's. Are there more? Pretty cool. Alright, enough about her. Let's see what other names are dropped here.
Respect. The amazing Eugene Smith. Good to see Avedon among the masters.
Avedon, Dali.
Oh, of course.
Right, so let's just quickly look for Eugene Smith. Oh, that's the German one. Let's switch to English. Photojournalist. So yeah, Cartier-Bresson was the humanist photography. Eugene Smith is the photojournalist. Dedication he devoted to his projects and his uncompromising professional and ethical standards. Photo essay into a sophisticated visual form. World War II photographs. Okay. Clinic of Dr. Schweitzer in French Equatorial Africa. City of Pittsburgh. And damaged health of the residents of Minamata in Japan. Interesting. So yeah, he's a photojournalist and he's got a cause, or many causes, I guess, and tries to transport that via photography. Oh gosh. This is from the Japan famous photo of a victim of Minamata disease that he took in 1971. Alright, yeah. I get what he's about, I guess. What else did she say? Oh, Avedon. Yeah, Avedon was, like we read earlier, was who mainly influenced Annie Leibovitz, right? So he's also into portraits, portrait photographer. His fashion and portrait photographs helped define America's image of style, beauty, and culture. Interesting. Anyone we know in here? Was that Tilda Swinton? What's her name? I'm not sure. That's Arnie, isn't it? Yeah. That's a cool shot. Oh, this one is by him. No. Or maybe it is. I mean, everyone's seen this picture, I think, right? Steve Jobs, that's Tarantino. So yeah, I see how he influenced Annie Leibovitz. Also lots of celebrity shots in a way, kind of intimate portraits. This one's pretty cool. I don't even know who this is. That's Marilyn Monroe, huh? Cool, cool. Loving this one. Who is this? William Casby. Alright. Yeah, I get it. This is... who's this? It's a famous actor from the 50s, 60s. Ah, shit, I forgot. This is John Wayne, of course. Sean Penn. Does it say? Humphrey Bogart. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I get it.
Lots of people I haven't heard of yet.
Get why you're
I
into
guess
this,
that's why I'm
Max.
here.
Pretty cool. Alright. Let's get back to the game, shall we?
Man, he even has the best plasma HDTV for a class monitor. Can't wait to watch some more documentaries on this bad boy.
This bad boy.
Here's the poster for the contest. Mr. Jefferson really expects me to enter. Why? I don't know if I'm ready for my 15 minutes of infamy.
I mean, I'm not a photography expert or something, right? But this seems weird to me. I mean, photo contest, and I don't really like this picture. I mean, what is this even like a visual reference to like Michelin Man or whatever? Or Godzilla? It's kinda campy, I think. When I think the idea of like an Everyday Heroes contest is actually a pretty cool one. But yeah.
Even in pictures, the forest around here always looks mysterious.
It does.
You can never escape the lighthouse here.
There's the camera.
Whoa, Mr. Jefferson is not messing around with that monster. He probably paid 20 grand for that camera. I bet he gets pristine digital images. But I still dig my little instant camera. Every time I look at Victoria, I feel like she's talking smack about me.
Look at her sticking her butt out there.
This is ridiculous. I always get so shy and nervous around Mr. Jefferson.
It's called a crush, Max. You'll learn about it someday.
Excuse me, Mr. Jefferson, can I talk to you for a moment?
Yes. Excuse you.
No, Victoria. Excuse us. I'd never let one of photography's future stars avoid handing in her picture.
I didn't have any time. Way too much homework.
Max, you're a better photographer than a liar. Now, I know it's a drag to hear some old dude lecture you, but life won't wait for you to play catch-up. You're young, the world is yours, blah, 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 right? But
Blah,
you do
blah,
have a
blah.
gift. You have the fever to take images, to frame the world only the way you envision it. Now, all you need is the courage to share your gift with others. And that's what separates the artist from the amateur.
I mean, I gotta give it to him. That's actually good advice. And come to think of it, I mean, why is he interested in Max entering? Is he like, despite everything, actually interested in her success? Or, I mean, seeing as Life is Strange treats like most people and even its antagonists as like complete people that might be very flawed or even evil to a degree, but still have redeeming qualities about them. I mean, maybe he's actually interested in a student's success as well? I don't know. I mean, this whole thing with him being like a photographer in the 90s and then maybe not so much successful later on, I mean, this kind of gives him a new dimension as well, right? I mean, doesn't excuse any of the stuff he does, of course. But, I mean, he's basically a washed-up photographer and his career didn't really go the way he wanted it to go, so now he has to teach at Blackwell.
It's
So-
so...
You didn't tell me how cute I looked yet.
I was about to.
Just getting you
You
right.
always
Welcome to the real world.
Just cute.
That's cute,
Then
huh?
I might send you a special picture.
Oh, special picture, huh?
Because Max
That's Dana and Luke.
She plays it so sharp.
I need a serious
Courtney
timeout
and
in the
Taylor.
bathroom. Splash water on my face and make sure I don't look like a total loser.
I hate that class. It's so fucking boring.
I hate that class.
She's so fucking shy.
She's so fucking shy. They're talking about me, right? Taylor and Courtney. Well, I'm standing right here. I always like this moment. Such a cool start to the game. Also with the contrast that we didn't have any music earlier, really. This very much feels like drowning out the world. Hey there, bitches.
I think that's Courtney. She's such a slave to Taylor and Victoria. There's Taylor, always waiting for Victoria.
So that's the hierarchy, it seems. Victoria, then Taylor, then Courtney.
Ah, the science room. Here's the portal to Warren's brain. These missing persons posters are popping up everywhere.
Tattoo on calf of a dragon and a star. Does she have those already in Before the Storm? On the inside of her left wrist. I don't think so. But she does have a scar on the inside of her, was it left wrist? I think it was, right? She tells us in about, like in Before the Storm, about her hiking accident.
I shouldn't be so stingy with my blood.
Maybe she used that tattoo to cover it up or something. This is kind of a weird call for donating blood, isn't it? Use technology as a learning tool, not to be cruel. Okay, cool.
Alyssa is always texting, but she doesn't hang out with a lot of people.
Yeah, she's drowning out the world, just as you are, Max. What's she wearing? Some crosses? 2 crosses at once? Gotta be extra safe, I
Evan
suppose.
doesn't say much to me, but his photos are very cool.
Who's this guy?
I hate having everybody see inside my locker.
I never got that comment. What does that mean? You can't really see inside, right?
I love that picture of Mom and Dad. Hello, Jack. Kiss, kiss. Andy, you look totally fabulous, as usual.
So that's Andy Warhol, I suppose, right? Jack? Who's she talking about? Jack Kerouac or... Not sure. Also, yeah, shows how much of a like photo or art nerd she is. If she has like Andy Warhol pictures in her locker and not just some high school boy or whatever.
Yes, this poster must stop bullies dead in their tracks.
I mean... Yeah... Don't smoke. If you care, don't pollute the air. We all deserve clean lungs.
That's Dana talking to... I think his name is Justin.
Right, that's the only time in the game we see Dana and Justin talking, I think, right?
Dana is on my floor too. She's such an archetypal, gorgeous cheerleader. They must make them in a factory. I shouldn't be so catty. Dana is nice to me.
That's right. Dana's pretty chill.
Stella is always deep in her notes. She didn't come to Blackwell to mess around.
Well, there's Brooke with a lightsaber hoodie.
I've seen Brooke hanging out with Warren. She seems like his type.
Huh.
Poor Daniel, he's so nice. I wish I could beat the shit out of Logan. I hate bully jockstraps like Logan. And he's a Vortex Club member.
Right. Anything else? Halloween party?
I wish October would last forever.
No. Fittingly, it is October right now, so...
It looks
There we
like
go.
she's been gone for months.
Oh, we looked at that already, okay.
You can never have enough ghosts and skeletons in the hall.
I agree, Max.
They should just call it a sugar machine. That would be awesome if you put money in there and a bag of sugar dropped out.
Yeah, you could build a bomb with it.
Don't need a PC. Missed the Poetry Jam tryout, and I did not steal that backpack.
Poetry Jam? Personally, I only know Poetry Slams. It's probably similar, huh? I don't know. Or Poetry Jam? Poetry Slam? I don't know. For sale. PC laptop fully loaded. What does that even mean? What, with like electricity or power? Thanks, I guess. On September 16th, my backpack with all my school books and my new tablet was taken from the cafeteria after I left it on the table. I really need this stuff for school, and my tablet has a lot of very personal pics of my late cat's rip, so I'm willing to pay small cash reward, no questions asked. If you have any details I would like to confess, you know who and where I am. Never find out who this is really, right? But I think we do find out what happens to the cat pics.
That's so messed up. I should contact them to find out what I can do. As if I am.
Over the past decade, climate change has altered the Oregon coastline, including fish and fauna. This has helped decimate the state's fishing industry, especially in Arcadia Bay. Raise your voice against pollution and save our historic town. We all know the Prescotts don't care.
Good thing I left my AK at home.
I mean, Max, you're joking, but I guess in America this wouldn't be a joke.
Miss Grant is a great science teacher.
Principal?
Principal doesn't come out of his office much.
Alright.
How many students ever actually memorize all this shit?
So this is the art
Guess we
class
all should these
we were
days.
just in, then the science class is on the other side of the hall. There's a music room. Principal's office, we go there eventually, of course. Girls' room. Oh, there's Jefferson's office. There's a bigger office than the principal, huh? Business office, cafeteria, we never go there. Computer lab, alright. Come see the
There's
light!
the lighthouse again. Yay, Halloween, my favorite time of year. He's cute.
Beer!
Skater boy.
I like that hoodie.
Like me.
Also, he'll end up with Dana, of course, as we know. Hi, Sam.
Samuel is such a weirdo, but I kinda like that about him.
And I kinda like that about you, Max. That you're not judgmental of weirdos.
You can really learn a lot about a school by the weird shit posted on the boards.
Influences, yeah. The Ramones, the Shins, the Beatles, the Ramones, the White Stripes, the Ramones. The Smiths, the Who, the Ramones, the Style Council, I don't know this one. The Ramones and Lady Gaga. That's an interesting collection. Steve Hagney. Come praise with your peers. Bible studies, Sundays at noon at the Arcadia Bay Library. All face welcome. Nice. Go Otters. There's the Bigfoot
Look
trophies.
at these trophies. Gotta give it up for those Bigfoots. They do stomp.
And we all know there's gonna be drama with these two later on, right?
There's Juliet from my dorm. Yet another Vortex Club disciple.
But also aspiring reporter.
Figures Juliet would be dating Zachary. Jocks sucked up in the Vortex Club. There's Hayden, another Vortex Club bro. But he's actually not an ass.
We see Hayden later on in Before the Storm as well, right? When he's performing with Dana.
Oh, I can hardly wait to never be too cool like Nathan and Victoria. Lame.
In the Tempest drama class. And the Rachel Amber poster. And that's pretty much it, right? Chess Club.
Nerd alert. This poster has Warren written all over it.
I mean, I feel this is pretty true to life. Is this kind of being a nerd or a geek and proud of it yourself, but then again still calling other people nerds in a kind of derogatory way? I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's the same thing that happens with the word hipster, really, right?
Empty. Good. Nobody can see my meltdown. Except for me.
Right. So also, yeah, I think it's important to remember that she's having a meltdown not just because she's like shy and insecure and an 18-year-old in a new environment, but also because she just had a very weird, very lucid dream of a tornado destroying the entire town in class.
Now, who would bother to write that crap?
Right.
I remember when somebody punked the alarm last month.
Mm-hmm.
At least I got out of science class for that quiz. This poster must drive people to have sex.
I mean, this is also an interesting tidbit, right? I like that I went this route and chose to display the bullying that happens with someone that, I don't know, a liberal audience might actually not initially identify with, right? Because Kate, she is like an abstinence. She preaches abstinence. I mean, that's what Victoria says later on. But she is definitely, she believes in it. And she probably like supports these posters and everything. So it's not usually a cause that a lot of like the presumably liberal audience of Life is Strange would support. But then again, people treat her bad for it, and I think this is very true to life to what could happen in like a liberal arts school like this, right? Because bullying happens everywhere, and the reasons for it are really secondary, I guess. Mean people are going to be mean, but in this environment, something like being pro-abstinence is definitely what will single you out, I guess. And then people will write crap like Kate twerks for God. And as soon as we show like the slightest sign of vulnerability, like Kate does with that video, people will like take you down hard.
I'm good to flow. Thanks.
That's disgusting, Max.
The last time I got a flu shot, I got the flu. Fuck you.
I don't know if that's how that works.
I feel like the universe is taunting me everywhere I go today. It all started with that bizarro dream in class. Am I going crazy? Just relax. Stop torturing yourself. You have a gift. Fuck it.
No, don't. It's a good photo.
When a door closes, a window opens. Or something like that. Okay, girl, you don't get a photo op like this every day.
So there's been a lot of theorizing about this, but I'm still pretty sure that the butterfly is Chloe's spirit animal, right? Not the raven, as some people have guessed before the storm. The raven would be Rachel, I think.
Whoa, where did that butterfly come from? It doesn't look like any kind I've ever seen before. The blue wings are practically glowing. I can almost feel the air moving around me. The butterfly feels almost like a spirit.
It's cool, Nathan. Don't stress. You're okay, bro. Just count to 3. Don't be scared. You own this school. If I wanted, I could blow it up. You're the boss. So what do you want?
I hope you checked the perimeter, as my step-ass would say. Now, let's talk business.
I got nothing for you.
Wrong. You got hella cash.
That's my family, not me.
Oh, boo-hoo, poor little rich kid. I know you've been pumping drugs and shit to kids around here. I bet your respectable family would help me out if I went to them. Man, I can see the headlines now.
leave them out of this bitch.
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing? Come on, put that thing down!
Don't ever tell me what to do. I'm so sick of people trying to control me!
You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho!
No!
Alright, here we go.
Whoa. What the fuck? How can that be? I was in the bathroom. He shot that poor girl. I held up my hand. And then I was back here.
He likely was. These pieces of time can frame us in
I already heard this lecture.
from light to shadow, from color.
Now Kate is being hassled again. And if Victoria's phone rings, this is real.
Now,
Shit.
can you give me an example of a
Man, I
photographer
cannot
who
believe
perfectly
this.
captured the human condition in
I mean,
black
she
and white?
comes...
Okay, if I'm crazy, I might as well go all the way.
Bueller?
Can I actually reverse
There you
time?
go, Victoria. Why
She
are
comes to terms with this quite fast, actually, right? I don't know if I wouldn't like just freak out or whatever. Alright, gotta repair that camera. It's gonna break eventually anyways.
I did
Now,
it.
Can you
I
give me an
actually
example
did
of
it.
a photographer who perfectly
I'm a
captured the
human
human
time
condition in black
machine.
and white? Anybody?
What's weird about this...
Don't freak out. Not yet.
There you go, Victoria. Why Arbus?
What's weird about this is going back in time.
You feel like totally
Damn it,
haunted by
everything
the
is the
last
same.
sad mothers and
When I took my...
children.
Still the
She
same
saw
stupid
humanity's
picture.
tortured, right?
Actually teleported her back to her classroom as well, right? When all the other instances of time travel in this game
Is still in the same place.
change
And
the
capture
world
human
around Max, but
desperation.
not Max or her position in it, right? So this is kind of a weird
Isn't that
Wowzer, my old broken camera is new again.
What
irregularity.
if Arbus chose to capture people at the height of their beauty or innocence?
Height of their beauty and innocence. Yeah, right.
What is going on? Nothing has moved at all.
She could have taken another approach.
I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of her work. I prefer Robert.
Shh. I believe Max has taken what you kids call a selfie. A dumb word for a wonderful photographic tradition. And Max has a gift.
I know I'm not
Of
dreaming
course,
this.
as you all know, the
It's
photo
real.
portrait has been popular
I can
since
tell.
the early 1800s. Your generation
So I
was the
can go
first
back
to
in
use
time.
images for selfie expression.
What if that girl isn't dead
I
yet?
couldn't resist. The point
Can I
remains
save
that
her?
the portraiture has always been a vital aspect of art and photography for
I
as
need to go to the bathroom
long as it's
quickly
been
and check it out.
Now, Max, since you've captured our interest and clearly want to join the conversation, can you please tell us the name of the process that gave birth to the first self-portraits?
I mean, it's also interesting that she didn't recognize Chloe like her best friend for, what, like 10 or 13 years? I mean, it's been a while, and it was a situation with a lot of adrenaline, I guess, but still. Also, she was behind the stall, and maybe she didn't quite see her face or whatever. But even the voice, I don't know. I have to use the bathroom.
I'm sorry, but I really have to use the bathroom.
Nice try, Max. But you're not going to get away that easy. We can talk more after class. Is there anybody
Oh
here
shit.
who knows their stuff?
Jefferson wants to keep me after
Louis Daguerre
class.
was a French painter
And I
who
need time to
created
save that girl.
daguerreotypes, a process that gave portraits a sharp reflective style like a mirror. Now you're totally stuck in the retro zone. Sad face.
Very good, Victoria.
What if I rewind?
Now we all know about daguerreotypes.
Now, Max, since you've captured...
The Daguerrean process, invented by a French painter named Louis Daguerre around 1830.
Somebody has been reading as well as posing. Nice work, Max. The Daguerrean process made portraiture hugely popular, mainly because it gave the subjects clear, defined features. You can learn more when you actually finish reading the assigned chapters. Max is so far way ahead of everyone. And guys, don't forget the deadline to submit a photo in the Everyday Heroes contest. I'll fly out with the winner to San Francisco, where you'll be feted by the art world. It's great exposure, and it can kickstart a career in photography. So Stella and Alyssa, get it together. Taylor, don't hide. I'm still waiting for your entry too. And yes, Max, I see you pretending not to see me.
So this time I think...
You're not crazy. You are not dreaming. It's time to be an everyday hero.
She won't look at stuff, right? Because she says, like, yeah, I need to go to the bathroom or whatever.
Bowser, you are blowing it. Save
Yeah,
that
yeah.
girl. There's no time to fuck around here.
Can I still talk to Kate, though?
Nice answer, Max. Are you okay? You look pale.
Kate, did we talk at all today?
This is the first time. What's wrong?
I'm sorry, I'm just tripping. Too much stress.
I know the feeling.
Just by participating, by putting yourself out there.
I wish we didn't. What?
No matter who wins. This is just a
I wish we didn't. I do have to go, but we can talk later if you want.
I'll see how I feel. Thanks, Max.
Because I don't think a lot of people do this, and that means you never talk to Kate this day, right? Except later in front of the dorms, I guess.
Victoria hasn't moved from that spot. I wish I could go talk to Mr. Jefferson about what's going on, but I can't. Excuse me, Mr. Jefferson, can I talk to you for a moment?
Yes. Excuse you.
No, Victoria. Excuse us. I'd never let one of photography's future stars avoid handing in her picture.
I'm not avoiding, just...
Biding time? Waiting for the elusive right moment?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Max, don't wait too long. John Lennon once said that life is what happens while you're busy making other plans.
Yeah.
Go on now. Don't let me stop you.
Wouldn't it actually be a lot cleverer if we said, yeah, the right moment, like... Why can't I rewind now? What? Wait. Like Cartier-Bresson? Somehow it doesn't register my input. Right? Press Control. Ah, okay. Alright.
Excuse me. Mr.
Throw this
Jefferson,
back at
Can
him.
I talk to you for a moment?
Yes. Excuse you.
No, Victoria. Excuse us. I'd never let one of
Alright. John Lennon once said.
I'm on top of it. I think John Lennon once said that life is what happens while you're busy making other plans.
Max, you're on fire. All the right answers. Good. Make sure you finish working on it by today.
This
I have
always
faith in you.
kind of cracks me up, because it means, I mean, a lot of what this time game does with the rewind is basically giving you the possibility to throw things back at people that they're thinking themselves right at this moment, which means you're basically just appealing to their vanity, right? Which I guess is pretty true to life. I don't know
I hope I have
that
enough
would
time to go to the bathroom.
endear you to them.
Please, please. I can't tell anybody. They'll think I'm crazy.
Because Max wants
That if someone says like exactly what you're thinking at that moment, you're like, well, that's a good thought.
When can you?
How can everybody look so calm when I feel so stressed?
You should take a smoke break.
payday? I know you didn't forget you owe us cash.
I forgot for what?
For making sure nobody kicks your ass. Yeah,
Wow.
your ass.
Logan, seriously, leave me alone.
You're not the boss of me, bro. Not the boss, bro.
No, I'm just trying to go to class.
Can I talk to Miss
I can't let
Grant?
that girl die in the bathroom. Miss Grant can't help me now.
She's a science teacher.
I won't be bored. This is an excellent mop, however. I keep it clean.
You keep the mop clean?
I can't talk to Samuel about this, even if he might believe me.
Alright. Let's go do this.
Okay, Max, retrace every step. I washed my face. I shredded my photo. Then the butterfly flew in. And I took a photo.
leave them out of this bitch.
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing?
Don't
Come on, put that thing
ever
down!
Tell me what to do.
Wowzer, it's happening. I need a hammer to break it open.
You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me!
Nope, he's not gonna shoot her.
Don't ever tell me what to do. I'm so
Max, you're going to get hurt.
trying to control me.
You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
Nobody would ever even.
I need
miss
a
your
hammer to
punk
break
ass,
it
would they?
open.
Get that gun away from me, psycho!
No way.
Don't ever touch me again, freak!
Another shitty day.
That did not happen. This cannot be real. I just saw a girl get shot and then saved her. What the fuck is going on? Do not freak out.